Hello, viewers. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jide, a retired professor of chemistry, totally in love with artwork. Today, we are going to review a painting by Rotimi Adekunle of a market scene. We are reviewing a market scene by Rotimi Adekunle on canvas. This painting was done in 2005. Don't forget, each time I review Rotimi's work, it's a tribute to him because he's a late friend of mine. Rotimi has presented a very beautiful work on canvas showing a market that is alive and breathing from the way he has presented the people in the market. We have a long column of people extending to the bottom of a hill there, serving as a relief. And the color, the choice of color is very good. Good contrast. And you can virtually see there is motion in the market. Even though this is a painting, but it's a painting that shows a market that is truly alive. It is a typical market, uh, typical village market in the West African sub-region, and I'm sure it's probably very representative of village markets in Africa. The market is clean, as you can see, and colorful too. The color is introduced by the products or the produce that we have in the market. You take, for instance, the chili pepper, the tomatoes, the palm fruits, the even the onions that have been sold there, or the plastics on the right hand side. The market is also fascinating in the sense that if you look at the buildings, they are very old, rusty buildings, roofs. The roofs are rusty, roofing sheets are rusty, and is also typical of most old markets in the West African villages. I want us to focus our attention on the people in the markets. Like as I said earlier, the people are breathing and moving, and we can actually see that this is a market that is alive. If you look at this side, we have groups of people that are together. They are not selling anything. And we have another group around here and here, which is also typical in markets. What are these people doing? Are they discussing the prices, or they are just plain gossiping? I want to say that many markets, provide also an opportunity for friends to meet and gossip. The people in this market are not essentially from this village. They are usually from villages around and even cities or towns. Some of them may be distant from this market, but people come here to buy things because things are much, much cheaper in village markets. This lady wearing a suit here is probably from a town nearby, and it's a reflection of what I said earlier, that a lot of the people who come to village market come not necessarily from the village itself, but from surrounding towns. The young man here who is pushing the cart that contains onions need to be given special attention, because this is very common in most village markets these days, where you have men uh, pushing carts containing onions. This young man is most likely from the northern part of Nigeria, where onion is grown in abundance, and is most likely an Hausa man, because the Hausa people bring their onions from the north to sell, not only in village markets but in markets all over Nigeria. I want to state again that it's a colorful market, but we find that the most predominant color here is blue. Is blue, and that's not surprising. It gives away the fact that this market is in Yoruba land, because Yoruba people like blue color, and is likely to be situated in Rotimi Adekunle's village, Ilaramokin, which is a Yoruba town. Though not shown in this painting, but if anyone was to walk along this column of people, you will meet on the right different stalls or things that are sold by people: yams, vegetables, a lot of greens, apart from the chili pepper, the tomatoes, the palm fruits. This most likely to be chili pepper or tomato too, that we find here, and the fish too. It is interesting that we have the fish people together. That's common too in village markets. People selling the same thing usually congregate around the same area. So if you enter the market, you can ask, where do I get fish? And people can point to you, oh, come to this side. This is where you have people selling fish. It is interesting that this woman has fish that seems to be on a broiler, on some fire. It's also not uncommon to have in the market people sometimes sell fish that is broiled or cooked, so that people can also take that home. I remember when I was young in the primary school, after school we come to the market, or on weekends we usually come to the market to see our mother and get little change which they oblige us, with which you can buy groundnut, biscuits, or any other thing that is to our taste. Now there's a particular story I remember about the market in my own village or town. A long time ago, uh, I remember an occasion my mother took her yams to the market to sell. But later that evening, she carried home the same yams unsold. And we were wondering what happened. And we asked her, Mama, why didn't you sell your yams? And she told us people were asking for the yams at prices that were totally unprofitable for her. And she decided it is better for her to take her yams back home and eat rather than sell them at unprofitable prices. The interesting thing is that in the village market, a lot of things that are brought in the market are produced by farmers in that village. So you have many farmers. If it is during the period that yam is plentiful, we bring plenty of yams to the market, and yam will be cheap. And there are other things like that. Sometimes the people prefer to not to sell some of their things because they are not getting good prices for them, or not to get so much sold because they are not getting good prices for them, unless the things are perishable things, so they have no choice but to sell them. If you notice, you'll find that most of the people in this market are women or ladies, if you like. Why is that? In a village market, most men don't bring their produce to the market. They would rather give them to their wife to take to the market to sell. And this is very aptly reflected by Rotimi Adekunle in this lively market painting on canvas. I want to conclude by saying that Rotimi Adekunle in this market scene presentation on canvas reminds me very vividly of when I was growing up in the village, and we're in the market, everybody's moving up and down, and that used to give us kids some kind of kick or excitement. Thanks for watching today's video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Turn on the notification button so that next time I upload my video, you'll be the first person to be informed.